I came to DU, which is a predominantly white and wealthy institution, as a student of color. I'm a part of the Dene tribe, so I'm Native American. Also as a low-income first-generation student, and my first year I really experienced like how hard that was. We had this free speech wall, and somebody had defaced it in a way that put lyrics that were offensive to students of color. I guess what I'm most proud of is documenting that experience and having those students that were hurt by that be able to tell their own stories about how that hurt them and why that hurt them, and really uplifting their voice in our student newspaper. Whatever my dream job is, I know will have to do with uplifting people and creating a world in which it's more just for them and equitable for them. So people who don't benefit from systems such as people of color and low-income people.
There's been a lot of events that have shaped me as a person. When I was 10 years old, my father died from years of alcohol abuse. Then my sister and I actually found his body in our backyard. My whole life I've just had trouble wondering if I'm ever going to be happy. And it wasn't until that I found journalism in high school that I actually felt like I had a chance of having a happy life when I'm older, you know. I just wrote a story about eating disorders within the dancing community, and I think that's probably my most proud story because it took months of research and so many interviews, and I follow the story of one person in particular, and I think it helped to make her feel less alone and more validated in her own experiences. I just want to be a journalist. All I want to do is to be able to make a living writing.
I feel honored in every single way, and this is my aspiration in life, to be in a place like this historic building, to see all of the award winners on the wall. I think it's truly amazing, and it kind of gives me an idea for what's ahead in my life. I grew up with a camera in my hand. I was a skateboarder and a snowboarder at a very young age. In my most recent documentary, Victor, I showcased him as a fencer and as a leader on the team. It was a great insight for me to learn how interesting and incredible just normal people can be. And you know, as journalists, it's not our job to change people's minds. It's not our place. We shouldn't be influencing the opinions of other people, but it is our job to inform the public. And I think that's what's most important about what we do.
I think that my favorite part about journalism is working with wonderful people, not only getting to meet the people that I interview and covering stories that matter and that make a difference in people's lives, but the people I work with are just incredible. They inspire me every day. Well, there's this one story that I did. It's not my best technical work, but it was a multimedia project where I focused in on a person who was genderqueer, and I kind of delved into what that meant and how it had affected their life, and how they want people to understand what genderqueer means, and that was a really meaningful project for me. I really enjoyed getting to know that person, and I think it was one of my best pieces. I want to be able to make a difference in the world. I mean, I really appreciate the recognition, so I think it's just reflective of the amazing program that I'm in and the amazing people that I'm surrounded by.
To be recognized by my peers, it's very validating. It lets me know that I've finally found the path for me in life. Along the way, I developed a kind of amateur enthusiasm for taking pictures. So I thought, how could I do that and still serve the citizens of Colorado and my country? And I thought, journalism. I do some photography. You know, as a journalist in the National Guard, there's a lot of bad information out there, information that's wrong or slanted in a certain way. And for me, it's all about reporting the facts. I want to let people know that there are still good things out there, good people. I see as giving them hope, you know, inspiring them. That's what I would like to do with my career.
I don't know, I just like the idea of getting other people to share their stories. I created this segment because I was the sports anchor. I created this segment called How Hard Can It Be? Where basically I, who's not too athletically inclined, go and join one of UNC's sports teams just to see like how hard it can be, because they make it seem pretty easy, because hockey's incredibly hard. Because like there are other professions where you build things and you do things, and all these things are really important, but there's got to be people to tell their story. And I think that's what journalists do. They recognize the accomplishments of others and how future generations can apply that to their lives and build off of that. But to be recognized as making it seem worthwhile, that means a lot. And I get to meet Bob Woodward, so I'm really excited about that.
I went abroad for a year to Argentina with Rotary Youth Exchange. Argentina is really like my second home. I became fluent in Spanish. It's a part of me now. I love it when I get the chance to go do a story in Spanish. I've written a couple stories. Like for example, I wrote one at CMU about the lack of handicap access. There was a student who was in a wheelchair and she couldn't get into the restrooms on campus because of the doors, like she can't open them. And when I wrote a story about this, and it got so much recognition from not just the university, but also Grand Junction. The Grand Junction Sentinel picked it up. I think 9 News did a story on it. If it changed their lives in a teeny way, I feel like I'm making a positive change, and that's what I really love. And if in some way I can make an impact on the environment or the community, that would be like achieving the dream.